Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Got a good one for you today, folks. We're going to be starting another series. After I just released last week's videos on MsgBox options, tons of you emailed me asking if it's possible to make a custom message box where you can change the colors and the size and the style and the font and all that stuff. Yeah, you can. And we're going to cover that in this series. We are going to learn how to make a dialog form. Now, a dialog form isn't like a regular form. If you open up a regular form with your VBA code, the code continues to process, right? So it pops the form up and continues to do stuff. With a dialog form, it pauses the code execution. So you can pop up this form and then wait for the user to do something. And that is exactly how we're going to build our message box. I'm going to show you how to move the form on the screen where you want it. Members will have an extended cut. I'll show you how to center it over the application window, the Access application window. Now, because you can't open the form and then set values on it like we normally do, right? We can open a form and then say forms, my form, customer ID equals 3. You can't do that if the code execution pauses. So you have to have a way to send data to that form. We're going to learn how to use the OpenArgs parameter. We're going to send it a bunch of name value pairs, or sometimes called key value pairs, like caption equals Rick's form, right? Font equals Arial, that kind of stuff. We'll change the captions, the color, the font size, all kinds of stuff. We're going to learn how to make multiple buttons. Most message boxes that I've seen, usually 3 buttons is enough, right? Yes, no, cancel, okay, retry, report, that kind of stuff. But you can build 4, 5, 6, 12, however many you want. They're your Legos. You put them together however you want to. We'll see how to retrieve the return value to send it back to the code. So this guy's basically going to return a value like a function. We'll be able to set the height and the width of the form. So if you want a big form, a little form, tall form, wide form, narrow form, however you want it. We'll be able to stretch and move the controls on the form based on its size. So if the box gets bigger, right, we can stretch and move these controls around too. So they'll slide left and right. And again, members, another extended cut coming up showing you how to center these buttons exactly in the middle, regardless of how big it is. That requires some code and some math. We'll see how to add some different icons to the form, right? Just like the standard message box. Or you can put whatever icons you want on there. You want a picture of Captain Picard's head? Put that on there if you want to. I don't care. But unlike message box, we can change the size. Ooh, we can make them big. We can make them small. We can do whatever. Members, another extended cut. That's 3 extended cuts for this series. We're going to show you how to do your own custom IntelliSense for the parameters in here. That's going to be neat. We'll get to that. And we'll add beeps to it. You want 1 beep? You want 3 beeps? You want 16 beeps when your box opens? Well, that's up to you. And, of course, lots more. Lots of tips and tricks are going to be coming along the way. This will be probably, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe 5 or 6 parts of this series. All right, let's talk about some prerequisites. First, if you don't know how to use MsgBox in your VBA code, go watch this first. This explains the basics. Then go watch last week's MsgBox options video, which covers all the different options, well, most of the options, that come with message boxes. And, of course, all of this is predicated by you having some VBA experience. So if you've never used VBA before, go watch this video. It teaches you everything you need to know in about 20 minutes. So go watch all those. They're free. They're on my YouTube channel, they're on my website, and then come on back. And there will be some other videos along the way for different things, but I'll mention those as we're going. They're not all really hard prerequisites. Okay, we're going to start where we usually do, which is my Tech Help free template. This is a free database. You can download a copy off my website if you want to. Now, our MsgBox form itself isn't going to have any data in it. So I'm going to pick another form that looks like it to start as a template. Let's pick our main menu form, this guy right here, because it kind of looks like a message box already, right? Let's just copy and paste this guy. Control-C, Control-V. I'm going to call this My Message Box F. That's what we're going to call this thing, My Message Box. I thought about calling it Rick's Message Box, but we'll go with My Message Box for you guys. All right, let's open you up in Design View, and just so we don't get these confused here, I am going to delete everything, and I'm going to change the background color. Let's make it, let's go with this color for now. And don't forget to delete all the code out of here too. So I have a button I put up here to view code. If you don't have that button, you can go to the form design and go to this little guy right here that says view code. That'll put you in the code for that form. It'll open up your code editor. And we don't need any of this stuff in here for all those subs. You can just get rid of all that stuff. Of course, you're going to leave the option compare database and the option explicit. That should be in every module. And of course, don't touch my copyright notice. Leave it, people. Don't mess with it. All right, let's hop back over here and let's put some buttons on here. For now, we're going to start off. Let me make this a little bit smaller. We're going to start off with just OK and cancel. We'll add the third button later. I was thinking about it before. You can usually get away with OK and cancel for most applications. I just like to have the third option on there, the yes, no, cancel, just once in a while. But OK and cancel usually is good enough. With the yes and no, like I've said in the other videos, sometimes people will see a prompt, a message box, and they'll be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to answer it. Cancel just says, I don't know. Just get me out of here. So we'll add that later. So grab a button, drop it down here, cancel the wizard if it starts up. We're going to make this button OK, and I'm going to put the little hoo-hoo in front of it, right? The little ampersand in the caption. Come here, right? Ampersand, OK. That way the user can go Alt-O to push that button. And let's give the buttons a good name, of course. So this guy is going to not be Command 16. It's going to be OK BTN. I like to end all my buttons in BTN. All right, and let's copy this guy, copy paste, and we'll slide it over here. Sit. And we'll change this to cancel. And this guy is going to be the cancel button. By the way, for years and years and years, I used to always click in here, and then you have to like select the text. And recently, someone in one of the forums somewhere mentioned to me that if you click over here on the left, it just selects the text for you over there on the right. Isn't that cute? That's cool. See, even I learn new things from time to time. Microsoft is cool. They put little changes in every now and then, you know, little tiny interface enhancements, and I'm like, oh, that's when did they add that? I didn't know about that. All right, so there we go. Here's a start to our message box. And we can also make these the default and cancel buttons, right? If you're not familiar with that, you can make a button so that if you press enter on the form, it'll push that button. Likewise, if you hit escape, it'll push that button. So this is right here on the other properties, right? Default for this one's yes. And on this guy, cancel will be yes. So if the user hits escape, it'll push the cancel button. We're going to make this form modal, so go to its form's properties, go to other, and find modal, make that yes. That way the user has to do something to close this form before they can click on anything behind it. That's what modal is. I got separate videos on all this stuff, by the way. But again, this is a developer video. I'm pretty sure you know that already. Okay, now traditionally, if you opened up a form, okay, and you wanted to get a value back from it, you could click on this button, for example. Let's say this form called this form, okay? And then you hit OK. You want to send this button back to the form before it, right? The one that called it. Or if it's some VB code, you want to return a value. So since this dialog here has to be able to return a value to VB code and not necessarily to a form, what we're going to do is we're going to store the value, whatever the user clicks on, in a temp var. You can use a temp var. You can use a global variable. You can use whatever method you want. I personally like temp vars because they're easy to work with, and Adam recommends them, so that's enough for me. So if you want to learn more about temp vars, go watch this video. So if the user clicks on the OK button, go to build event, right? We're going to say temp vars, what are we going to call it? My message box equals, and for now, let's just return a string value. So, okay, we're going to change it to a number later, but for now, we're going to do this. All right. And then we're going to close the form. So they click on it. We're going to save that temp var because we don't know who called it, right? We don't know where it's got to send the data to. So just store it in memory for now. Okay. And then we're going to do command .close AC form me.name, so basically the current form, right? Me.name is the name of the current form. And I'm going to put AC save yes in here. I always explain this because your end user is not going to have an editable version of this database, right? They can't make any design changes. But you, the programmer, you want to save any changes you made. I've done this a million times where I've opened up a form, went to design view, made a bunch of changes, just flipped back to form view, and then hit my button and it closed the form without saving the changes, and I just lost a lot of work. So I always put AC save yes in here. Okay, let's do the same thing for the cancel button. Copy that, paste it in here. Yeah, I know it's a little bit of duplicated code, but that's fine. And then cancel. I don't consider 2 lines to be duplicated code. All right. So now when this form opens up from whoever called it, we're going to have 2 options now. OK and cancel. Right? User clicks the OK button, it saves OK in memory and closes the form. Then whoever called it can deal with that value, right? So who's going to call it? We want to be able to call it from anywhere in the database. So what does that tell you? We need to put it in a global module. So out here, global module. My database has a global mod already. If you don't have one, you can go to create and then module over here. Not class module, module. But I've already got a global mod. I'll stick it in here. Or you can make your own new module if you want for, my MsgBox module or whatever you want to call it. So in here, we're going to make a public function, and I'm going to call this my MsgBox. It's not going to take any values in, but it's going to return a string. Okay? Now, when you say, when you call my MsgBox, you're going to say do command open form. It's going to open up the my MsgBox F. Okay? But we want to open it as a dialog. Right? Dialog means that as soon as this command executes, it's going to open the form and stop. The code's going to stop there. All the lines that come after this don't matter until that form closes. You can run other code in your form, but this particular function is going to stop execution. So we have to come all the way over. You slide that over like that. We have to come all the way over and go comma, 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 right there. Window mode, see window mode is going to be AC dialog. And this is one of the reasons why I made yesterday's video about named arguments, because instead of all those commas, you can come in here and say like this, window mode :equals AC dialog. See that? So much easier than all those commas. I know I've been jamming on the commas my whole life. Okay. So we've opened up the form as a dialog. The user has the only options now to hit OK or hit cancel. In fact, I forgot to turn the close box off. We'll do that too. So that's done, right? That's done. That form has been opened. The form now closes. Now what do I do? Well, now this function can return to whoever called it that temp var value, right? And how do we return a value from a function? My MsgBox, the function, equals temp vars my MsgBox. See how this works? So in your code, you're going to say, I want to open up my MsgBox, right? You call the function opens the form sets the temp var comes back to the function returns the value back to whatever code called it. See how this works? It's a nice little tricky little chain there, but this is the best way to do it. In fact, this beats lots of other methods. I used to teach this by saving a hidden value on a form and then reading that. No. This is the way you want to do it. Now, we need a way to test this guy. All right, that's fine. Let's test it. Let's go back to our main menu. Actually, let's close this guy. Before we close this guy, one more thing I forgot to do. I want to turn off the control box and the close button. Where are you? Where's the close button? I can never find the close. Oh, it's right there. It's right underneath it. All right. You don't want the user to be able to close it with this, and you don't want the user to be able to click on this and go to close either. So we're going to turn both of those off. All right. Save it. Hit close. All right. Now let's go to our hello world button in here, and we'll call it from in here. In fact, let's make this a little bit bigger. I should have just made this big to begin with, because I'm always resizing it in class. All right. Right click, build event. Now, in here, what we're going to do is we're going to say, I want to get the value that my MsgBox returns, right? Just like we do it with a regular MsgBox, right? So let's put that value, because we're returning a string right now. We'll return a number later. I just want to use a string because it's easy to test it with. All right, so let's make dim s as a string. S is basically our response, right? We're going to say s equals my MsgBox. Now, for now, we're not sending any parameters to it. Later on, this is where we'll send the parameters, like what the prompt is, what the title is, what buttons you want, what color you want, all that stuff. It's coming. It's coming, people. It's coming. All right, so S is going to get that value from my message box. And then we'll say status. The response was, or is, was, whatever. S. Okay, save it. Always good to throw a debug compile in once in a while. Everything's clear. All right, good. Close it. Close it. Let's open this up. Yeah, I got code that moves the application window. Don't worry about that. Okay. Ready? Click the button. Now, this is something we're going to address in a future part, but it opened up on a different screen because the screen that I record on, my videos, is actually above my primary monitor. Okay, so one of the problems with dialogues and modals and pop-ups and stuff is that they can open on any screen, and we're gonna deal with this problem in a few minutes in the next part. But this just opened up on my other screen, so I had to slide it up. And notice it's modal, so I can't click anywhere behind it. The boxes are off. I can't close it any other way than hitting OK or cancel. So I'll hit OK, and there it goes. It was turned OK. Let's do it again. Click. Same thing. Had to drag it up. Hit cancel, and there's your cancel. All right. So see what happened there? All right. My hello world calls my message box. Message box opens the form. The form has two buttons. You click a button, it sets the temp var value equal to either OK or cancel. And this line freezes right here until that form is closed. Right? Then it comes back to here, and the function value, my message box, is set equal to whatever the user selected, and that is returned back to S. And then we can display S. And that is how you get a value from your message box. Isn't that cute? Now, like I said, the problem if you have a multi-monitor setup like I do, that pop-up dialog box is likely to pop up on your primary monitor, regardless of what monitor your Access application is. So what we can do is, in order to get that guy to pop up at least over the Access window, is to move it over the Access window. And we can do that by going to the My Message Box. We're going to go to the Forms Load event on load. All right, and in here, all we have to say is Me.Move and then some coordinates relative to the upper left-hand corner of the screen here. So if I put in like 1000, 1000, all right, save it, come back out here. Now when I click, look at it, it appears right there. This is 1000 pixels right and down from that corner. All right, that's a better positioning, right? And you can move it as far over as you want relative to this corner. Okay, now, wouldn't it be nice if this guy appeared centered over the Access window? Well, we can definitely do that, and I will be covering that in the extended cut for the members. All right, in the extended cut, we're going to write some code. We're going to center this dialog box right over this region here, because remember, you're not going to have the ribbon, and you're not going to have the navigation pane in your final product, right? These will be hidden. I got other videos to show you how to do that. So this is going to be centered over this region right here. Because if this, if your monitor is really big, you want this guy to be in the middle of it. And so that's what we're going to do. All right, that's in the extended cut for the members. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut videos. There's hundreds of them. I don't know, there's like 500 of them by now. And of course, gold members can download these databases that I build. But that is going to be your tech help video for today. Tune in tomorrow, people. All right, tune in tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. We got a lot more to go with this. We got a lot more. Probably, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 parts. I'm gonna do what it takes to get the job done, right? So tune in tomorrow. And of course, members, you can watch part 2 and your extended cut right now. Well, not right now because I haven't recorded it yet. But another member benefit at any level is you can watch the videos as soon as they're posted. Because as you know, on YouTube, I post them. I schedule them 1 per day. But sometimes I'll record like 10 in a day, and I'll just put them all up on the website, and members can watch them there. And on YouTube now, too. All right, so that's it. Go home. We're done. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little show more down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.